Welcome to the show. Our first guest is bringing sunshine literally all over the world, especially in Africa and other third world nations. Please welcome Yosef Abramowitz, a.k.a. Captain Sunshine. Hello, Captain Sunshine.
Hello, world.
You are a ray of sunshine.
Look who's talking.
You're thank you. I'm blushing now. So you're originally from Boston.
Yep.
I know you came here as a child. You went back, and then you came back to Israel. What was it about the pool of being here to do your purpose, as opposed to being in the States?
We come from an activist family. Like my dad was at the March in Washington. My mom pulled me out of Jewish day school for civil disobedience training one day.
Wow.
And so to be able to make a difference in the world was always part of our Jewish identity. And when we came to Israel for 2 years as a family to keep Keturah in the Arava, when I realized there was no electricity being produced by the sun in one of the sunniest places on the planet, and everyone said the reason is because of the government, and no one's crazy enough to fight the government. I was like, I love that. I love that. For a good cause, happy to beat up a government. And
well, it's hard for any government official to say no to you because you are a ray of sunshine.
No, they have, but you got to stay with it. And our vision really is that for Israel to be a renewable light unto the nations, which means we got to get our own house in order, and then kind of export this vision and the technology and the finance.
Well, you've done more than exporting the vision. I mean, just looking at all of these pictures, I mean, you literally, we'll say single-handedly, I'm saying it because I know you're humble, but, you've gotten so many countries at Africa on board, and like all of these, look at these solar panels, like why is, first of all, how have you been able to accomplish all this in such a short amount of time?
Well, it's all about teams. Look, in Israel, David Rosenblatt, Ed Hoffland, and I put together the team Arava Power, and we did the first commercial-scale solar fields. We had to win 100 political, regulatory, and statutory battles. It was ridiculous to do it. But if you go to the south of Israel, you can see them in the south. And we actually had a vision, this is back in 2006, that from the Red Sea to the Dead Sea, we wanted to be 100% powered by the sun during the day. And everyone said it's impossible. Electric company, all the politicians. Today, we're at 70%.
Wow.
And by 2020, we'll be at 200%.
That is really amazing.
So this is the model for the rest of the world.
For the rest, yeah, you use it as a model, and and I know that you were saying that all the African countries have come to you, and now to take it there. I mean, first of all, why is it so important, as an American, but representing Israel as being, pioneers in sustainable energy in Africa?
Well, one of the very interesting things about many Africans that you meet is that they actually expect the Jewish state to do great things. Whether it's because of the Bible or because of, they see what we've done in the same amount of time, that they've also freed themselves from colonialism, and you can see the difference in living standards and basic services. So they expect it both from a faith as well as from a pure evidence that they can see it. But we have a lot to offer. And by Israel being so hard, and I cursed every day, at the end of it I was like, wait a second. What about Africa? There's no, Israel Land Authority? Bring it on, piece of cake. So we were very motivated. We had a really good toolkit. And frankly, we also know how to do security. And security is a big part. If you're going to invest $100 million somewhere in a solar field, you want to make sure that it's going to work for 25 years.
All right, so do you feel like you really are, this is about tikkun olam. I mean, and I think, yes, this started many years ago before more and more natural disasters have happened, but this is explain why this really is the future for our planet actually being able to keep sustaining itself.
2 words, Hurricane Harvey. I mean, when the waters are warmer, it supercharges any kind of storm. And so what we're seeing before us is what actually happens all the time in the Far East, these super monsoons that are just, on steroids because of the warming waters. And so the number of deaths, right now we're only at 30 or so, but, in Mumbai, they have a storm today just as severe where hundreds of people have already lost their lives. And so climate change is real, it's here to stay, and we need solutions. And Israel is a great platform for being able to prove out solutions to global problems.
Right.
And so since we're getting past 100% renewable in the south of Israel, the whole world can go there. And you know what? It's not charity, and it's not even subsidized. We have a business model for tikkun olam. We have a business model that can scale, that is changing the world. So right now we're doing 6% of Rwanda's power with a single solar field. We're about to do 15% of Burundi's power, 25% of Liberia's power, and maybe up to 100% of Juba, South Sudan's power with clean, cheaper energy that really enhances development,
well,
social
and
economic.
it's free. I mean, you look at, studying, spirituality, the Torah, everything is the sun. I mean, the sun is the sun. Like, why has it taken so long for science to catch up to, like, the world's #1 natural resource, which is why we exist, why we breathe, why plants exist? Why did it take so long?
God gave us the light, and it's not just photons, it's also the light of understanding. We understand that this has to be the way. There are very big entrenched interests that try to block solar from coming in. Oil companies, coal companies, gas companies, and they have a very strong political...
It's a literal light and dark.
We really feel we're in an epic battle, both in a sense for the health of the planet and the soul of the world.
Absolutely.
And right, the fuel is free and it's clean. And it really helps bring people out of poverty. We have a quadruple bottom line. It's good for investors, good for the environment. We're always looking for humanitarian benefit. And we want to support Israel's diplomatic good name in the world. So working in Africa, especially with Prime Minister Netanyahu, I've been there already with him 3 times with African leaders.
I love that you're buddy-buddy. Let's tell us about, you have a big initiative in October. I know it's the 4th time, but you're like literally traveling with Bibi to Africa.
Yeah, so we're not buddy-buddy from the point of view of getting beers together.
Yeah, he's not inviting you over for a drink?
Well, no, because my wife would take him down.
Actually, first we have a clip. Hold on, and then let's continue.
Let's go to
the clip involves Netanyahu and the UN.
Oh, great. Thank you.
From this mountaintop, we call on the United Nations to affirm that access to green power and affordable green power should be elevated as a fundamental human right for all of humanity and for all people. We commit to invest $2 billion into Africa.
Israel is coming back to Africa. Africa is coming back to Israel.
Dude, like, seriously, I mean, how cool is this? I mean, I think, him going and, you're going out for the 4th time, but I mean, the UN is so important. I mean, do you think this could help be a linchpin in, like, just changing the whole perception of Israel from the standpoint of the UN, which is such a major problem?
A quarter of the votes in the UN are African countries, and 2 swing votes on the UN Security Council are African countries. This makes a difference. When we invest and we make good economic and social change and contributions, the votes tend to come along. So October 23rd in Togo is the first Africa-Israel summit with Netanyahu, ministers, African heads of state, about 100 Israeli businesses, and the deals are going down there in a big way. We've committed $2 billion to invest in Africa in the next 5 years, and quadruple bottom line, and we get to raise the flag. And
this is just, honestly, what you're doing is incredible, and I know, like, you've been honored by all kinds, let's see, the top 6 global green pioneer. I mean, you're recognized by everyone, so, and you're such an outgoing guy. I mean, is there any chance that there'd be political in the future?
Thank you for asking. I don't like the political party system here. I think it kind of corners people.
That's why it takes Americans to change. I'm like, we need Americans involved, right?
The only position I'd be involved in would be the presidency, and because that has to be above the petty politics of the different parties. So let's see if we have a good solar exit in the next 3 to 4 years, and we might go
cool is
for
this?
that.
And then your beautiful daughter, who's over here, is going to handle all your social media. We got to run out of time, but say hi.
Hi.
She's in the background, but anyway, she's cute and adorable, and we like her.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much.
And I know you'll be back a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
We're like old friends at this point.
Yeah,
right.
and we're going to have a book out soon, too, so we'll...
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we'll have that, too.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next...